Archie in the Turbo S behind. And I genuinely feel like I'm driving something out of a movie. With UFO warbles. That's my new word. It warbles. Yes guys, welcome to Supercars of London down at Porsche Colchester. It's been a while since I've been down here. It's been a few years since I've had the keys to a Porsche in my hand because, well, if you haven't already guessed by the title, I am driving today the Taycan 4S. This is in the Mission E futuristic spec. Look at the wheels, the white paint. Oh, this is ultimate. I saw this cruising around this morning as I arrived and I was like, oh my God, that looks insane. Over there, we've got the much more subtle Taycan Turbo S, which Archie is going to be driving. And today, we're going to get both of these cars on the road and in convoy, enjoying some of these Essex roads whilst the blue sky is shining. What better way to enjoy the day than to drive two electric Porsches? I never thought I would say that sentence, but I am so excited about getting behind the wheel of this car. It has taken over my TikTok For You page. All I see is Taycans, and I love the sound of them, I love the looks of them, but I've never driven one. Until today. Let me just try to explain as we leave Porsche Colchester how excited I am about getting behind the wheel of a Taycan, but to be in convoy with a Turbo S Taycan behind me. There are two on the road. I've only ever seen one on the road, and here we are having the opportunity of driving both of them and being able to get a feel of exactly what the differences are between the entry-level Taycan and then the big boy Turbo S. That has got 0 to 60 in something nuts like 2.8, 2.7 seconds. This is still crazily quick, but is sub £100,000. And through Porsche Colchester, the availability on 4Ss is a little bit earlier than the Turbos and the Turbo Ss. I don't know what the speed limit is here, 30, so I'm okay. 100% battery, beautiful inside. This is absolutely stunning. We've got screens everywhere, leather. It is very Porsche Germanic, not Germanic, Porsche Germanic. And that is a level up from just Germanic.
You join me where I'm now in the Porsche Turbo S. Paul has jumped out of the, well, he hasn't jumped out of anything. He's driving the 4S, I'm driving the Turbo S. So he wanted a bit of my opinion to brief to you guys about my thoughts to it, etc. So this is the quicker model, isn't it? So the Turbo S does 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. The 4S does 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. This is the big king. It really is. It's seriously fast. You can do all sorts of exterior upgrades, a little bit more than you can do with the 4S, I believe. And it is stupidly fast. Yes, it is a supercar killer. 2.8 0 to 60 is rapid. You get sort of longer range, you get that in the Turbo and the Turbo S. But I think there's something to say about the 4S. This is rapid, don't get me wrong. But the Turbo S is seriously good value. The 4S is seriously good value. I am going to get confused with that. There have been a lot of reviews on this car on the internet in terms of other facts which make it so impressive, and that is it's good around a track as well. It's not just quick 0 to 60, it's not just electric in terms of, you know. Personally, what I would choose, the 4S for me, because it's still such good value for money. These prices start at £138,000 for a Turbo S, and on the 4S they start at 88, and on the Turbo I think they start at around 100, about 115. So you could spec one of these up to 160 grand if you wanted to, easily. But then you also could spec up a Taycan 4S and it could be under £100,000. Yes, you're not going fast 0 to 60, you still get the look, still get the presence, still get everything else for less money. So it has been mega to drive this car. I want to spend more and more time in them, and I'm going to plug my own channel because I'm buying one. So more on that on my channel as well. Paul, you better leave that in.
Now there is an optional extra that you need in the 4S. I do believe it comes as standard in the Turbo S, and all you have to do is put it into Sport Plus. I mean, that is the most 2075 noise I've ever heard. Right, shall I just boot it? Whoa! And that added sense of audible noise that's coming through your ears. It's another sense that adds to the acceleration that I think we all were a little bit nervous as petrol heads as to where the world was going with electric cars. The Teslas, the Jaguar I-Pace, everything just seemed a little bit the same. When Porsche came along, I was nervous that Porsche weren't going to be able to carry the Porsche characteristics through in their electric car. Now, obviously, there are tons of reviews out there that are all incredibly positive about the car, and I have to say that Porsche have gone above and beyond what I think was expected of an electric car. The sound, I think, is my favourite part of this car. It like warbles around like a spaceship. And imagine just going for dinner with your girlfriend, being like, oh, let's jump in the Taycan, because, you know, I want to feel like I'm living in the future. And my God, do I feel like I am years ahead of everyone else on the road that's driving around in a normal car. I'm going to get back in my M2 competition and be like, what am I doing? I have slowly been coming to terms with the fact that electric cars exist and can coexist with normal cars, the V12s, the V8s that we all love. And in a way, if there was more access to charge points where I live, I would 100% consider one as my A to B daily driver. And I can completely see why Archie is living in central London, having access to all of the charge ports. It's not just a case of how convenient and easy, and also how resourceful it is and how good it is for the environment. It's also that word, it's how cool it is. This is so cool. It has the performance, it feels like a Porsche through the steering. You really feel like you are driving a sports car with instant torque and the coolest noise I've ever heard in a car. Yes! Now, when Porsche launched the Taycan, I did like it. I thought, oh, it's a bit of a shame they're doing a four-door first and not like an out-and-out sports car, because, I mean, we've got an Audi e-tron. I was just about to say, Audi, Mercedes, Ford, everyone's just building SUVs and daily drivers, which I get. Tesla are the first people to really be pushing the boat out and be like, do you know what, let's go after the Roadster. 1.9 seconds, 0 to 60. Whether that exists or not remains to be seen, but they are pushing the boat there. Audi have come out with the coupe. I feel like Porsche, being a sports car brand, could have gone after an electric 911 concept-y variant type thing, but I get why they've done this. I mean, this they're going to sell far more of than a niche sports car electric car. But now we're just cruising through this little village in two Taycans, Archie and the Turbo S behind, and I genuinely feel like I'm driving something out of a movie. With UFO warbles. That's my new word. It warbles. And we are back. We've brought them back in one piece, which is a fantastic moment in my life.
I didn't think you were going to do it.
Come on then, Turbo S. This is the daddy when it comes to, I'd say, Porsche in general, right? Like, they're always the quickest.
Yeah.
What did you think of that? Because I drove the 4S, you drove the Turbo S. I thought this was more than quick enough.
I think that's my point of what I said in my video as well. Is basically just, I think the 4S is quick enough. Looks better.
Yeah.
It's a quarter of the price, so I think that's one thing which is, you know, one of the things. I think personally, to buy, I think that is, you know, if you get one new at like 80 grand, 90 grand, it's going to hold pretty well. I think it's going to be, well, I hope.
Yeah.
But the Turbo S, I think it's supercar money. You're nearly at the point that 160 grand, you might as well, you're nearly at, well, it's more expensive than my GT3 RS.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. I think with that, you're buying a sort of same price as you buy a new Panamera.
Yeah, it's a dailyable luxury electric car.
And I live in London.
Yeah.
So I can charge it and no congestion charge. And then I won't get all these parking fines which I keep on getting. The congestion fines which I keep on getting.
Well, massive thanks to
Did
these
you know
guys.
no congestion charge?
Yeah, of course I did.
Oh,
It's,
I just didn't know you knew.
it's an electric car.
Oh, I just didn't know you knew that.
Well, I did. Porsche Colchester have massively hooked us up with allowing us to drive these, and the main reason that we're here will be unveiled on Archie's channel. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this insight into both of the new Taycans, and it's been a very interesting and exciting day. So I'll leave it there. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and head over to Archie's channel for his video on the two cars. I'll see you soon, take care, goodbye.